Good evening to all. Welcome back to 7th Standard Social online class. Students, hope you are all safe at home by God's grace. Today we are going to start a new lesson in Civics Unit 1, Women Empowerment. That means make each and every individual woman into an independent and make strong and their development in all fields. This is we call women empowerment. In this lesson, we are going to know the sociological perspective of gender and to understand the various roles played by women in our society and what is the importance of women education and to understand the role played by women in economic development and the idea of women rights. Let me start the lesson introduction. Feminism is not about making women stronger because women already they are strong. It is about feminism means changing the way the world perceives that strength. The world must realize the strength of the women, the strongness of the women. The world should understand they are strong. This is we call feminism. The story of women's struggle for equality belonging to no single feminist, not to any one organization, but it is a collective efforts of all who care about human rights. So women struggle is not belong to a single woman or it not belong to any organization. It is a collective efforts of all the human beings who care about the human rights. If you educate a man, you can educate a man itself, a man only. But if you educate a woman, she will educate a generation. Again, I am telling, if you give education to a single man, he can educate himself only. But if you educate a woman, she will educate a generation. To call women the weaker sex is a libel. It's a mass injustice to women, said by Mahatma Gandhi. So don't tell women a weaker sex. If you tell like this, it is a man injustice to women. The empowerment and autonomy of women and the improvement of their political, social, economic, and health status is highly important and in itself. In addition, it is essential for the achievement of sustainable development. So, if you want to attain a permanent development, we must improve the status of women in all fields like political, social, economic, and health, etc. Then only we can attain the sustainable development. Women's empowerment and achieving gender equality is essential now for our society to ensure the sustainable development of the country. So to achieve sustainable development, the country must possess the country must give importance to women empowerment and gender equality. Then only the country should achieve the sustainable development. Social aspect of gender. Sociology of gender. Study of how society influence understanding and difference between masculinity and femininity, that is male and female. How the society influence, how the society understand the male and female differences. In sociology, we make a distinction between sex and gender. Sex is the biological trait. It's a biological difference that society used to assign people into category of either male or female. When people talk about the differences between men and women, they are often drawing on sex, male or female. The difference only they are seeing. on rigid ideas of biology rather than gender, which is an understanding of how society shapes our understanding of those biological categories. That means on the basis of sex, our society influences the gender equalities. They are giving more importance to male sex and less importance to female. Gender is more fluid. It may or may not depend upon biological trait. More specifically, it is a concept. It describes how society determine and manage sex categories. So gender is a fluid one. The cultural meanings attached to men and women role and how individuals understand their identity, including but not limited to being a man, women, transgender, and other gender position. Gender involves social norms, attitude, and activities that society views as more appropriate for one sex over another. Gender is also determined by what an individual feels and does. So, gender is meaning an individual feeling and his activities. The sociology of gender examines how society influences our understandings and perception of differences between masculinity, what society views appropriate behavior for a man, and femininity, the society views appropriate behavior for a woman. We examine how this is in turn influences identity and social practices. Now we will see the essential factors for empowerment. Education is the best essential factor. Education gives one the ability to think. So education means it make a person to think wisely and take a rightful decision, a correct decision. This is the meaning for education. Gender discrimination. A society which discriminates between the two genders can never be improved. If a society differentiate male and female, the society will not improve. Discrimination based on caste, greed, religion, etc. Now we will see women education. It's an important question also. Education is one of the most important means of empowering women with the knowledge, skill, and self confidence. Note these words. Education gives a woman knowledge, it gives skills, and self confidence to each and every woman. It is necessary to participate fully in the development process. So, education make every woman to participate fully for the development of the country. More than 40 years ago, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights asserted that everyone has a right to education. Our UNO declared that each and every person, he may male or female or transgender, everyone has a right to get education. This is our human rights. Educating the girl child produces mothers who are educated and who will in turn educate their children, care for their families, and provide their children care and support. So, if you educate a girl or child, when she become a mother, she will take care of her children and her family in a proper way. The girl child needs to be educated to get more knowledge and skills needed to improve her status for social interaction and self improvement. So, the girl child should get education. The education gives her knowledge and skills. With that knowledge and skills, she can improve her status for social interaction and self improvement. The sustainability and progress of all regions depend on the success of women across the globe. As a former President Barack Obama, he said while addressing the UN General Assembly in the year 2012, the future must not belong to those who bully women, but it must be shaped by a girl who go to school and those who stand for a world where our daughters can live their dreams just like our sons. So, like sons, each and every daughter they are having dreams. So the dreams should come fulfilled. When it comes fulfilled, when they go to the school, their dreams come fulfilled. So the future that was in their educated children, women children. Now we will see the unmatched importance of female education. Increased literacy. Increased literacy of the illiterate youth across the globe, nearly 63% are female. Offering all children educations will prop up literacy rate, pushing forward development in struggling area. Human trafficking is another unimportant factors. Women are most vulnerable to trafficking when they are undereducated and poor. According to UN Interagency Project on Human Trafficking, through providing young girls with opportunities and fundamental skills, human trafficking can be reduced. So, the one of the causes for human trafficking is undereducated and poor. Political representation. Across the globe, women are underrepresented as voters and restricted from political involvement. So, throughout the globe, women were merely considered as voters and they were not allowed to involve political involvement. The United Nations Women's Programs on Leadership and Participation suggest that civic education, training, and all around empowerment will reduce this gap. So, we must give chances to women to participate in the civic life, that is, political life, and we must give training. Then only it reduces the generation or gender gap. Thriving babies. According to UN Girl Education Initiative, children of educated mothers are twice as likely to survive past the age of 5. So the educated mother only should take care of her family. See here. The later marriage, as suggested by the United Nations Population Fund in underdeveloped countries, 1 in every 3 girls is married before reaching the age of 18. In the regions where a girl receives 7 or more years of education, if a country where a girl gets the education of nearly 7 or more years, the wedding date is delayed for 4 years. The income potential, education also increases women earning capable. According to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, that is UNESCO, in a single year of primary education has shown to increase a girl's wages later in life by 20%. So, the women income potential become increased. Prospering GDP. So, increasing gross domestic product. Gross domestic product also increases when both girls and boys are offered educational opportunities. When 10% more women attend school, GDP increased by 3% on an average. Poverty reduction. When a woman get educated, she will become earning. She will get a earning capacity that automatically reduce the poverty. When women are provided with equal rights and equal access to education, they go on to participate in economic activity. They will participate in business. They will work in many field. So automatically it increase their earning capable. So it reduce their family poverty. Increased earning power leads to reduction in poverty level. Now we will see Savitribai Phule. She was a traditional breaker. On those days, there was a tradition. The women were not allowed to get education. This was their tradition. But she was the first lady who break that tradition. She was the first female teacher at the first girls' school. That school was established in Pune. When we talk about girl education, only Jyotirao Phule is remembered as the champion of women's education in India. He, along with his wife Savitribai Phule, they opened the first school for girls in the year 1848 at Pune. So she was called as traditional breaker, and she was the first female teacher who established girls' school at Pune in the year 1848. Students, this is very important GK questions. Now we will see the first in the world. The first prime ministers in the world, Sri Maro Pandaranayak, that is the country Sri Lanka. In space, Valentina Tereshkova, that is USSR. To scale Mount Everest, Juko Dabai, that is in Japan. To win the Olympic gold, Charlotte Cooper, that is in England. Students, up to this we will conclude the lessons. So today we have studied about women empowerment. So in this lesson we have learned about the meaning for women empowerment and various roles played by women in our society and the importance of women education. The remaining questions will be seen in our next class. Today I will give some home assignment. You copy in your class work note and study well. Thank you.